Coach Sully, reps in Sweat Frederick, Maryland. On today's Mat Chat, we're going to be talking about why discipline is freedom. Now, when we say the word discipline, we automatically think to grinding, working really, really hard, pushing, exhaustion. We think of all of these things that involve hard work. And yes, discipline does involve hard work. But if discipline isn't adding structure to your life, if discipline isn't adding simplicity to your life, then you're doing it wrong. So if you're the type of person who's been working really, really hard and pushing really, really hard, and you haven't gotten the results that you've been looking for, then this Mat Chat is for you. Now, when we talk about discipline, we cannot say the word discipline without thinking about motivation. Motivation is the magic emotion that gets things done. It's the thing that everybody is waiting for before they get started. But the problem with motivation is that it comes and goes as it pleases. It's unreliable. It usually comes when you need it the least and leaves when you need it the most. A lot of times when you have an idea, you are highly motivated, but then when you start doing it and it gets boring, it gets repetitive, that motivation quickly dwindles away. And a lot of people who've experienced motivation and experienced the power of motivation, they think that they need it in order to get started, in order to do something important to them. They think that it's necessary, so they wait around for it to come or come back before they want to get started and get on with whatever it is that they want to get on with. Now, the people that you see that are getting things done, that are successful, that are making things happen, those people don't rely on motivation. Motivation, just like, and I hear this complaint a lot, that I just don't have the motivation. I just don't have the motivation. Well, here's the thing. The people that you see that are getting things done, they don't have motivation either. I always tell people, when it comes to working out, when it comes to training, every time that, I won't say every time, I'll say 99% of the time, I literally have to talk myself into going. 99% of the time, when it's time to work out, I do not want to do it. I am not feeling any motivation to do it. And this comes with the territory. When you're doing something new, yes, you're going to be motivated to do it. But when you start to build up some sort of routine, when you start to make it normal, it's not that new shiny toy anymore. And it quickly becomes boring. And when things get boring, motivation usually doesn't find you when you're doing things that are boring and monotonous and repetitive. And in order to get anything done, you need that repetitiveness. You need that consistency. That motivation just isn't powerful enough to fuel. You have to attach to bigger things like purpose. You have to attach to things like that, to like duty, in order to push yourself to do the boring work, the repetitive work, the monotonous work that is necessary to make things happen in your life. Now, when we're talking about discipline, we have to make sure that that discipline doesn't turn into an obsession. There's a thin line between discipline and obsession. And a lot of times, obsession looks like discipline, but it really isn't. If you find yourself, if your discipline, your quote unquote discipline, is, well, first of all, you're going to notice when it doesn't produce the results that you're looking for. If it's not giving you clarity, if it's not making things calm, then that discipline isn't discipline, it's obsession. When it's too rigid, when there's no space for mistakes, when there's no space for being human, where there's no space for missteps, that means that discipline is too rigid and it is bordering on obsession. It's easy to make that mistake and consider something that you're doing discipline just because it's hard. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's discipline. And a lot of times we like to pat ourselves on the back just because we're doing something hard. We all love to make that to-do list and scratch those little things off of the to-do list, but a lot of times we're just going through the motions, or we're looking for the reward before the work actually produces the results that we're looking for. So we have to make sure that our discipline actually moves the needle. We have to make sure that our discipline is actually aligned with the things that we want. You can run as fast as you possibly can around a block 100 times, and you will still be on the same block that you started on. So we have to be very careful that our discipline doesn't turn into obsession. Now, the thing that makes discipline easy, the thing that makes discipline smooth, the element that makes discipline something that complements your life is routine, is habit. And when you combine habit with hard work, you actually make the hard work look easy. You make it also feel easy for you. That's how people get it done. When you look at somebody and they just seem like these hard things come for them, more than likely they're relying on routine. Routine takes the friction out of it. When you are on a schedule, when you're on a routine, that internal conflict that happens inside of your head every time you do something difficult, that voice gets quiet. That voice becomes easy to overcome. You also get a level of confidence, because a lot of times when you're doing something that, especially something you haven't done before, there are doubts. There are going to be doubts. Can I actually do this? Is this going to work? You've never done it before. You've heard that it works, but you've never made it work before. You've never lost the weight. You've never accomplished the thing that you're looking to accomplish. And the routine aspect of discipline is what puts you at ease and gives you confidence in the process. You can look at somebody who's done what you're looking to do and say, hey, this person showed up 5 days a week for this amount of time and got these results. I can confidently trust that if I do the same thing, I'm going to get the same results. And that's where a lot of your confidence comes from. Because truth be told, confidence comes from evidence. And if you don't personally have the evidence to back up what it is, your belief, it's going to be hard to generate confidence for that. But then that's where you can lean on the process and be confident in the process before you actually produce the results that you're looking for. And routine creates that confidence. Now, one of the biggest things that gets everybody stuck is when those inconveniences happen. It's when those obstacles pop up. It's when things don't go according to plan. It's when you're not able to get the work that you wanted to get. You're not able to do it the way that you feel like it needs to be done. And those moments, no matter how insignificant they may seem on the surface, those are the most important moments. And I'll give you an example. Let's say you have on your schedule that you're going to work out. You go straight from work and you're going to go work out for an hour, solid workout. And you get a phone call, maybe from family saying that, hey, we need you here. We need you to skip the workout and come here. It's an emergency. You know, nothing life-threatening, of course, but you're not able to work out the way that you want to work out. And where most people slip up is they take these moments, and trust me, these moments happen often. And how you navigate these moments is going to determine your ability to stick with it. And that's why these moments are so important. But you're stuck with a choice. You know that you're not going to be able to get the workout that you had planned on getting in. So where most people drop the ball is they say, well, it's not going to pan out exactly the way that I wanted to, so I'm not going to do anything. Your other option is to, on your lunch break, do some push-ups and sit-ups right there in your office. And like I said, these are the moments that will determine your success. When you're able to take what life gives you, and even though it is not exactly the way that you pictured it to be, you take it and you work with it. Those moments are going to be the determining factor. And yes, on the surface, a few push-ups versus an hour of heavy training in the gym, you can't really compare. The push-up almost can seem insignificant, but the moment, the psychological benefits and effects are going to be what's going to be the most valuable in those moments. So we have to make sure that when things don't pan out, we are flexible. We are able to adapt to the situation. We're not so rigid in how we think things should unfold. We don't take an all or none approach when it comes, because there's going to be plenty of moments, and those moments when you are unable to do the workout or do the task that you mapped out that you needed to do. Those moments when you're unable to do it, but you do what you can, those are important moments, even when they feel like they're just insignificant. A lot of times it looks like, hey, I can't get to the gym this evening. Let me go for a quick walk. That walk might not be, when you put them side by side with a intense gym workout, it might not add up. It might not compare. But for psychological purposes, for consistency purposes, for morale purposes, for confidence purposes, those moments are the most valuable moments. And we have to train when we have to continuing consistency. That makes all the difference. Yes, it's only going to be a drop in the bucket as far as intensity is concerned, but for consistency purposes, it's your most valuable moments. Now, when you have structure, when you have consistency with your discipline, that is where it appears easy. That's when it becomes calm. That's when it becomes frictionless. It's the structure. And if you're able to stick to that structure, you can basically put your discipline on autopilot. You can basically guarantee that you're going to get to where you're going. It's impossible to maintain a high level of intensity through any task over any period of time. You have to have structure. Now, what does structure look like? Structure looks like, hey, every day at this time, I'm going to go and work out. Every day at this time, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. When you put it on autopilot, it takes that resistance away. As opposed to, I'm going to get up in the morning and figure it out. That approach to discipline without structure makes it pretty much impossible. So we have to add structure to our discipline. Discipline isn't punishment. It's stability. And there's a freedom that comes from eliminating that daily debate of, should I do this? Do I feel like doing this? And you make it automatic. You make it a no-brainer. So when you're looking at folks, if your discipline feels like you're always climbing a mountain, if your discipline never gains any momentum, it's because your discipline doesn't have structure. And if you want your discipline to become your freedom, if you want your discipline to happen in a calm way, you have to give it structure. All right, folks, hopefully that was something that you could use. Coach Sully, Reps and Sweat, Frederick, Maryland. This was MatChat.